The trilogy fight we've all been waiting for, Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards 3, is coming this weekend. Here's my breakdown and prediction for that fight, and it might surprise you just a little bit about why I'm picking who I'm picking. We're going to get into all that in just a second. I do want to say before we get into it, hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels, and I almost knocked over my headset. Let's talk about Kamaru Usman. Okay, so obviously, everybody's been talking about the first fight, how Leon Edwards had a very some people are saying lucky come from behind win against Kamaru Usman the last time that they fought. The general opinion of the last fight was Usman was dominating the whole time, but I don't think, people forget about the first round of that fight. Usman wasn't dominating the first round. You remember the first round? Leon Edwards got the takedown. He was striking with Usman. He was doing very well, and you could have argued that he took the first round over Kamaru Usman. It was a problem with the second, third, fourth, and even the start of the fifth round that Kamaru Usman really started to take over. And still, I don't know if I would say he dominated Leon Edwards, because it's not like he was just ripping him apart like we've seen Usman do with other people. You know what I mean? Leon was still he was kind of there, but it didn't look like there was any urgency in him. It looked like he was definitely behind in that fight. But I wouldn't go so far as say Kamaru Usman was doing whatever he wanted to. Does that make any sense to you? He was winning the fight. It just didn't look like Leon Edwards had what it took to win. But all of a sudden, after that speech in the fifth round, he comes in, gets a head kick, gets the win, and then his obviously, you could see the change in his eyes too. He's like, oh my God, I did it. I can do it. I can do it. You know what I mean? So that was really funny. The problem comes when you're predicting this fight is that most people seem to be taking the fact that Leon Edwards wasn't doing anything like we just talked about throughout the entire fight and then ended up getting a lucky head kick. I don't think the head kick was lucky. I think that he set it up very nicely. It was just unlikely that it happened. I'm still surprised that it happened. You know what I mean? Nobody expected him to come from behind and win this fight. But the biggest problem is, I believe that his lack of urgency or his lack of output was due to them fighting at elevation. Kamaru Usman trains up there. He's used to the elevation, and some people were even speculating that the UFC wanted him to win, so that's why the fight was taking place there, because Leon Edwards actually offered a challenge. I don't know if that's the case with the UFC, but I think that certainly had something to take into consideration when taking a look at this fight, because this fight will not be at elevation. And I was really surprised because Leon, he looked like he was tired. He didn't have a lot of output, right? It was something we just talked about. I think that did have a huge effect on him. Because when have we seen Leon Edwards not really do much? We've never seen that any time that he's ever fought. Leon Edwards has great cardio, so it was just it was really weird to see from him in that fight. And I actually picked him in the first fight to win. I didn't take the elevation into consideration. Maybe I would have thought about that, but I just didn't think that they were fighting at elevation. But this time I know that they are not. So I thought that Leon Edwards was a better fighter. I thought he would be able to pick him apart striking. I thought he'd be able to hang with him in the wrestling, despite what happened in their very first fight. Leon Edwards has vastly improved. Same with Kamaru Usman, to be honest with you. His striking has looked great. I'm picking Leon Edwards to win this time around. And the biggest thing is, I still think that he's a better fighter, but they're not fighting at elevation. I think his cardio will look fantastic, and I think this fight will look a lot like the first round. Perhaps even better for Leon Edwards, because now I have to move on to Kamaru Usman. He's been out since that knockout, and some people are even saying it's too early for him to come back. Of course, we don't know for sure. Nobody's Kamaru Usman. He had a really bad knockout. He's also been healing from a hand injury, so who knows how much he's been training, who knows how much it's going to affect him, and who knows if his chin's still intact, because we've seen it so many times with fighters, after a bad knockout, their chin just goes forever. Take Cody Garbrandt, for example. You've seen it in a lot of other fighters. On top of that, Kamaru Usman is getting older. He's not there yet. He's pushing on 40. He's over his prime. He is no longer in his prime, and it makes me wonder, when are we going to see that decline? Have we seen that decline already? Have we seen a little bit in the Leon Edwards fight? Because again, he wasn't dominating that fight like he was other people. He was dominating past fights and past opponents with vicious intent. This time it was a little bit more for control, like we've seen with the old Kamaru Usman. Who knows if that was slowing him down at all? I have a lot of questions about Usman and how he's going to show up into this fight, and the fact that he's out of his prime now, coming off a bad knockout. Leon Edwards is on momentum. Have you seen what this dude looks like? He is shredded beyond belief, Leon Edwards. He's ready for this fight. He's fighting in his hometown. He's going to have that advantage. I think this is all set up to have Leon Edwards win the trilogy fight. I think he's a better fighter. I think he's more technical. I don't think that he'll knock Kamaru Usman out again, but I wholeheartedly believe he's going to win the decision this time around. I don't think it's going to be a dominant win at all. I think it's going to be very competitive, but Leon Edwards just getting that much of an edge, a little bit here and there to steal each round, and I think he's going to be able to outdo Kamaru Usman in the striking. I feel like he's going to be able to contest with him during the wrestling exchanges. We've seen him have success in the first round. I'm interested to see where that's going to come. I apologize if you could just hear my knuckles cracking. It's going to be very interesting. I just think Leon Edwards is going to get a one-up on him every single time that they have some sort of exchange. And again, there's too many questions on me for Kamaru Usman right now to pick him. I don't know. Regardless, it's a very, Very interesting fight. So I'm going with Leon Edwards. I'm going to go by decision. I have a hard time seeing him get a knockout again unless Kamaru Usman's chin has had a huge problem with it. Usman has been hittable in the past, so who knows? I'm very interested in this fight, and I'd love to know what you guys think about it down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you are new here and you enjoy the content, I do videos breaking down every single weekly news recap of everything that you missed in MMA news. So if you are interested in that, check out the video on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.